Hey guys, it's Julie. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about the latest Nancy Drew game, Nancy Drew Sea of Darkness, and because I just completed the game last night. I was playing it yesterday during the day, and I was so close to being done that I was just like, after everybody else went to bed here, I was like, okay, I've got to finish this because I'm so close. And yeah, so first off, Nancy Sea of Darkness, very cool game. Basic premise: Nancy goes to Iceland. She's called in. I can't remember by who, but she's called in to basically what happened is this little town in Iceland has a festival, and to celebrate uh, the crashing of the ship that that crashed into their harbor like many years ago. And basically, it's kind of funny because at the beginning of the game you don't know much about the legend. All you know is that this ship like literally crashed into the harbor, like it was recreated or whatever. But what turns out wasn't recreated. The captain of the ship is missing, and nobody knows what happened to him. And everybody at first thinks that he took off to either find this treasure, because that's part of the legend, is that there's this treasure that was on the ship and that it's been hidden. And so, you know, you've got your treasure hunters, obviously, but the funny thing is that there weren't very many tourists around. At least not, you never really saw anybody. That's the thing that always kind of cracks me up about Nancy Drew games is like you can only talk to certain people. And sometimes it works better than others. Like there's one game called Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, and that game you're out in a cabin in the middle of the woods, and it's like there's not very many people around, and so you can kind of get that feeling of isolation of, okay, so there's only the shoppers to talk to, the park ranger to talk to, and this guy who's out looking at birds to talk to. So it's like, which makes it kind of nice because you have a very limited number of suspects. But in this case, I don't know, it kind of threw me because I thought, well, where are all the tourists? Why did did they all take off after the ship, crashed in? Are they all off other places looking for the treasure? I mean, I would have thought there'd be more people swarming the town and being like, and trying to find it in town or whatever. But it was really isolated. There, let's see, I think there's like four people you can talk to, five if you count the missing person, which, spoiler alert. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, so spoiler alert, at the very end of the game, you do find the missing ship captain, and, he's okay and all that. But yeah, it's just kind of weird, because it's kind of like, okay, you know, anyway, but I'll get to that in a bit. Um, so basically, you have four people that you can talk to in the course of the competition. Six people if you count the two people who you get to converse with over the phone. One of which is Ned, your Ned, which is Nancy's boyfriend, and it's really kind of sweet because there's this part in there. Well, when you first call Ned, you discover that you somehow missed the date of you their the date of their anniversary, and Ned's waiting for Nancy at a restaurant, and she's in Iceland, and it's like, ouch, it's like really awkward. But then, I'm not gonna give away everything, but then something happens later on, and you're just like, oh, Ned, you're so sweet, you know. And so basically, you get to meet a new person who might end up being a phone person in the future because Ned gets a new roommate, and that's really kind of cute because it's guy stuff, but it's sensitive guy stuff. It's not like you know it's not like jocks, playing sports or just sitting on the couch playing video games or whatever. I mean, it's like some of the conversations you have with Ned and the other guy is just like, okay. Anyway, so basically, you have to figure out what happened to the ship captain. Ship captain. Why the ship crashed into the dock? Why, where has he gone? Has he gone to try and find the treasure? Is he missing? You know, is he missing? Has he been kidnapped? Has he been killed? And usually Nancy Drew games, they don't, I mean, it's funny how many times Nancy Drew herself, you know, escapes danger. And even on the scenes where you do get caught by the villain, he never just offs, Nancy. Never just, I'm gonna take care of her right now, snap her neck, whatever. He always leaves her, trapped somewhere, but with the chance of her to figure out to figure out a way out. And that always cracks me up. And there's one of those scenes in the game too. And it's just like, I would have just knocked her out, dumped her overboard, and let the ICC take care of everything. But, it kind of reminds me of the, Dr. Evil in the Austin Powers movies. God, you just don't understand what is supposed, it's supposed to be this way. I'm supposed to give him a chance, and and it's just like, okay. But yeah, so anyway, as you guys can probably tell, I really enjoyed the game. I liked the puzzles. There were a lot of math puzzles, a lot of number type puzzles, so I had to use the hints a lot more than usual, which wasn't the most fun thing, but at the same time, it kind of made up for it because there were a few puzzles that were like color based or, where you had to guess which shape went into, which hole or whatever. And so that was a lot of fun. Um, anyway, I always love getting to know the characters in the games. And one of the characters is the girlfriend of the guy who's the sea captain who's gone missing, and and you find out later that she ends up being related, or being an ancestor of the original ship captain who originally crashed into the Iceland dock many, many centuries ago. And he left a treasure. And of course, he left, instead of coming right out and saying, my treasure is here, he left clues. He left clues and poems, and he even made a song. And Elizabeth, which I love that name. I love the name Elizabeth, and I love the name, how it's written in Icelandic, because it's a little bit different than how we spell it. But it's very pretty, and she's very pretty. And so it's kind of funny because first time you approach her, she's sitting on the ship and she's like very upset that she had to lower the gangway for you, because she's basically sitting on that ship, gangway up. She can't get off, but she can, she's not getting off, but she's not letting anybody else on. And then she's very thorny. She's very prickly and very, she's been hurt. And so, as you progress, you get to the point where she basically, said, is like, she starts giving you things of her own free will and saying, here, you know, this might help you, and then that she's not the villain. And well, and you also know she's not the villain because she does save your life at one point. And you know, and then after that is when she starts giving you stuff, and she starts being like, okay, so I don't understand. But I'm beginning to come around to your way of thinking that whatever happened to Magnus is not a good thing, that he's not off looking for the treasure, that somebody's got him. And that brings me to the one thing that I don't really, not that I didn't like it, but that it was a little predictable, and that was the fact that you kind of can figure out who the culprit is. And to be honest with you, when I play the game again, I'm going to be like chuckling when I meet one of the characters, and and this character starts going on about a particular something. I'm gonna be like, uh-huh. Because the character who's the culprit ends up showing up at the very end of the game and trying to trap Nancy in the ice caves with the summit. And so, but the other characters in the game, you've actually got two kind of prickly, kind of grumpy characters in this game. You got Elizabeth and you got Gunnar. And Gunnar kind of hangs out in the pub. I'm not sure if he actually works there or if he just helps out or whatever, but you find out his backstory too about middling into the game, and very sad, You and Elizabeth kind of make a good pair in the fact that they both have kind of tragic backstories, and they're trying to deal with stuff from their past. And so, and Nancy, of course, you know, Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew, at least the way I play her, is she's probably one of the kindest detectives. She's not afraid to get tough and get in your face if you're lying to her or whatever, and she knows it. But she's also very kind, and if she finds out something about your past or your family that you go, oh, she may still think you're a suspect, but she's a lot more willing to be like, oh wow, that's so sad. And I also kind of liked that she kind of associated herself with Elizabeth at one point. She was trying to empathize, and be like, well, I lost my mother at a very early age and all that, and kind of a nice throwback to Silent Spy. But anyway, and it was simple. She didn't dwell on it or anything. It was just like, yeah, I lost my mom at an early age, and then they went on from there. But we got Gunnar. Gunnar is the guy who works in the pub, and he's very. It's almost like the game tries to throw it at you that this is the suspect, which, of course, you realize quite early on that he's not. He's just tragic. He's just got a tragic backstory, and he's built up this persona of, I'm going to be the difficult one, I'm going to be the tough one, and try to keep people away at arm's length. And then later on, it's like he ends up just being a big teddy bear, and it's just like, aw, And then there's Soren. Soren, I don't know for sure. I didn't catch the voice actor for him, but I swear it's the same person who plays Sheldon on Big Bang Theory. The voice was just almost spot on. And it was just like, it was funny. I mean, this guy, he runs the culture center. So you go into this little shop and it's like, got a gift shop. It's got all the little history things. It's got a couple displays that you have to set up and everything. And that actually ends up being part of the game with Ned. Is after Nancy realizes that she forgot their anniversary, she's like, I need to get Ned something really, really special. And there's this sword in the gift shop that she's like, I want to buy this. But they never show, like, some games, like, those show you, like, how much it is, how much more you need. But they don't do that in this game. And that's kind of the other thing that kind of disappointed me is it was only, if you picked up something and, you tried to buy it, you basically put it in your inventory. And there were times I actually bought stuff on accident because I didn't realize what the procedure was. And so I ended up getting that kind of a cute little Viking like doll kind of thing, but next time I play, I'm gonna go for the sword. Oh, and here's the other thing. The other thing that really irritated me, the there always seems to be a puzzle in the Nancy Drew games. Well, and there's certain Nancy Drew games where it's like you get the option to earn money by fixing food. Like there's games where you have to cook snacks for to fix snacks for like the students in like the Waverly School, or when you're at the ski lodge, the Ice River Wolf or something like that. Anyway, so you know you have to cook like meals and stuff like that, and you get the chance to earn money for that. There's that here, but it's really confusing. It's like, it's really confusing because you can't really figure it. I don't know. I never figured it out. They give you like 5 things, and it's kind of like Shadow at the Water's Edge, where you have to fill up the bento boxes, and you have to put, you have to put the right purse. You have to put in like the rice cap in a particular slot, or or the rice bear or whatever. It's kind of like that, but it's like it's food that's like Icelandic food. So it's like deer, shark, stuff like that. But it's like bento, but it's like you have to, like, say you have deer, shark, and stingray. You have to put those in particular order, and then that particular order gets grayed out. Well, I was never able to figure out how you're supposed to do that. I'm gonna need to watch a walkthrough so that I can do that. But those are your ways of earning money. You make up these orders in the kitchen at the pub, or also in the pub, you have this little game where you where you basically quizzed about Icelandic words, and you have to put them in the right, you have to translate them essentially from English into Icelandic. And that one, the last one is a lot easier because it's like there were so many times where I completely and purely guessed, and I still got everything correct. So basically, that's what those are your two options for earning money. So once I figure out how to do the food part, I'll be able to sure earn a lot more money and all that. Oh, and the other thing is we are now back to Sunny June not being in the game, but being referenced in the game. Because you're in the pub and you find this story that Sunny June wrote and drew about his adventures with Cyborg Nancy, and it's really cute and very funny, and it's kind of like I actually kind of like not interacting with Sunny, but knowing he's out there. And, maybe it was just the game that he was in and just the setting and all that, but it was just weird having to go through the the whole um the whole thing with the having to go through the facade of doing the competition besides just going up to Sunny and saying, "Why do you want me here?" Okay, let's go, and going off and actually doing what you're supposed to be doing. That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But anyway, so we're back to Sunny being around, but just not being in the game, which I actually kind of prefer. Now, maybe sometime in the future they'll have Sunny come back. I don't know. But, so, yeah. So, I feel that this review is kind of rambly, but it's just like I keep thinking of things that I'm like, well, wait a minute. So, I liked it. And I kind of like that Nancy Drew does a lot of referencing of other Nancy Drew games in a particular Nancy Drew game. And so, but it is really cool. And I like the puzzles because they're difficult, but yet since you have the hints and you have I mean, I might try the Master Sleuth, but to be honest with you, I kind of prefer Amateur Sleuth. Just because you get more help, you get more options, and you get more. And maybe I'll try Master Sleuth after playing it like one more time. I don't know. To see if, because at that point I'll pretty much know everything and all that. And there's still parts of the game that I'm still like, well, wait a minute, what about. And you go out to a lighthouse, you have to fix the lighthouse and get to work again, and that ends up tying into the game in a few places, and there's a lot of stuff. And to be honest with you, as I'm walking up to the first time you walk up to the lighthouse, you start thinking Bioshock Infinite because lighthouses are very much a part of that game, and it's like you're walking and it looks like the lighthouse from Bioshock Infinite, you know, and it's pretty cool. So I do like I like the game. I would say I definitely give it an A rating. Maybe not an A plus, but I definitely give it an A rating, and it's just really cool. It's just really kind of fun, and I like that you get to go around and talk to different people. Though, like I said, I kind of wish there'd been a few more, even people just milling around in the background, like tourists or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. And the other thing that kind of threw me off was, well, it's in Iceland, and they were in their winter period, so it was a period of like where the sun, hardly shone, and it's like in the game, and it kind of throws you because it had kind of a day-night system, But instead of day and night, it was like high or low tide, which would affect how you were able to do certain parts of the game. And like going to the lighthouse, you couldn't get to the lighthouse if the tide was low. Or I don't remember other things. Oh, and then there's this other part where you're in the, because there's like a little boat, a little motorboat, right next to the big ship, and you have to go down there, but it has to be low tide, and when you scrape the barnacles and stuff off of the hole, and you find a number that Magnus left, or maybe the original pirate. I'm not. It's never really explained who actually left the mark, left the number. If it was Magnus or if it was the original captain. But anyway, there's stuff there. There's stuff there that you've got to uncover, and it's got to be at low tide. So you just go back to because Nancy stays at the pub, and it's also like a motel, and you just go upstairs and go to sleep, and then you get up when the tide changes. Well, it's funny because it's like it throws you like the first couple times you do it, because you just like it's you're kind of like, is it daytime? What? So that's probably why they did high and low tide rather than day and night, because a lot of people would be confused and would be like, it's not daytime, it's still dark out, let's go. But the other really cool thing is the graphics in the game are beautiful, and like the background, like there's a couple parts where you're up in like the crow's nest of the ship, or you're up somewhere high and you look out and you see the Aurora Borealis and the Northern Lights and stuff, and it's just like so pretty. So whoever designed the graphics for the game, whoever designed, just did a stand-up job. It was absolutely beautiful. So all in all, like I said, I give Dance Through Sea of Darkness an A. Puzzles were challenging, but not too challenging. Like I said, if you choose Amateur Detective, you've got, your hints, you've got your stuff. And the other thing I really liked is during the one puzzle where you have to figure it out and, Nancy's in danger, you basically, you have enough time to look at the clues or the hints, or to look at your notes or whatever, and get the help that you need in order to complete the puzzle, which is good. So, or you can go at it on your own. I mean, I don't think the puzzles were uber difficult. It's just there were a lot of number puzzles, and there were a lot of math type puzzles, and that's not my strong suit. So it was interesting. It was kind of like, okay, but yeah. So for the most part, it was a good game. And the next game that Nancy is going to be in looks really kind of. And it's funny because it's like they always kind of amp up the preview. But the games itself, and of course they want to make them playable for kids, and so they're not. They don't make them like uber scary or whatever. But I mean, let's just say, Deirdre's back. That's what I'll say. Deirdre's back, and she apparently has a friend who's in trouble, and it's got Salem. I think it's midnight in Salem or something like that. And if it is what I think it is, it's like you get to go to the old town of Salem, and it's like, ooh, because I've always wanted to go there. I've always wanted to see what that's see what's there and everything, and pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that game. But yes, I would recommend if you want a good game with challenging puzzles and a good story and stuff, and even a pretty good villain. Just for the fact that I kind of figured it out, way before, you know, way before the end of the game. I still liked it, and it still made sense why the villain had a good, kind of a good motivation for why he did what he did, and so I liked it. So I would definitely recommend it. So, um, anyway, Sea of Darkness. Um, oh, and probably won't have time to do one today, but I might do a little more gameplay on Ghost of Thornhill on Friday. So I want to get this review up to you guys because I know it's the newest one, and I don't know how many of you guys have played it yet, but I just wanted to let you guys know my thoughts on it. But yeah. So anyway, as far as real life goes, I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to do my best to find another job. And if I can find something that will give me the hours I need, then I'm probably going to quit at Family Christian because they are still not giving me enough hours. And it's like, this is ridiculous. The whole reason why I want to work is so that I have enough money so that I can go to England and stay there for 6 months. And it's just like, even if I wasn't going to England, I still wouldn't want to stay, and work for a company that's hardly giving me hours. That's just stupid, in my opinion. Um, so, but anyway, there is a career fair. DesMoinesHelpline.com is apparently having a career fair out here in West Des Moines on tomorrow, and so I have a meeting at Family Christian in the morning, 8:30 to 9:30, and then from then on, I'm free. So I thought, might as well go to the career fair and see what I can find out. So I've got to print out more copies of my resume and stuff. So yeah, so that's pretty much it, and pretty much what's going on in my life. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day today. I hope you guys are having a great week, and at least it's somewhat nice out. I mean, it's hot as heck over here, but it's summer. So anyway, hope you guys are having a great week, and I will hopefully talk to you on Friday. Bye, guys.